Hi, welcome to Moon in Libra. I'm doing a reading today for the 1st of August 2022 and it is Lughnasadh today. I've redressed my altar this morning and done a lovely little meditation. And I just wanted to do a quick reading for the energies that are around. Astrologically, we have just had a new moon. We're coming up to the Lion's Gate in a week or so, on the 8th, and we have a triple conjunction at the moment with the North Node, Uranus and Mars in Taurus. This is all happening in the sign of Taurus. So what's coming up for me is a kind of the need for balance between wanting to be really pushing forward and focusing on your goals, maybe things changing, change of direction, or kind of reassessing where you are wanting to take things, with a need for grounding. Like there's a real need for grounding at the moment. Things can get quite intense if you're not taking the time to ground yourself and to meditate as well at the moment. So obviously the planetary alignment is more of a collective event. Things happening quite intensely, quite quickly. From what I've been reading, this is going to revolve around global economy, so massive changes coming in terms of global economy. On a personal level, there might be money worries, you might be struggling to make ends meet at the moment, and perhaps a sense of needing to shift direction. Uranus is all about change, and quite radical change as well, so you might be feeling like things just need to be completely... The song that kept coming to me actually over the last few days is a Katie Tunstall song. I can't remember what the song's called actually, but there's a part in the middle of it where she's singing over and over again, pull it apart and put it back together, pull it apart and put it back together. And that was just rolling around in my head, and I feel like it's kind of like, just what have you got in front of you? What have you been working on? What what aspects have you got in your life? And take what you've been working with, but you can pull it apart, look at it all individually and leave some pieces behind, put it back together again in a way that suits you now. What you've got in your life right now might have suited you a year or two ago and it probably felt right then, but things have changed so much in the last couple of years. If you're still working with the same things that you were kind of aiming for then, you might just be kind of, I don't know, pissing in the wind is what's coming to me. There's just a need to allow yourself to re-evaluate and regroup and reinvent yourself and your plans and your goals and your life. Right. I'm going to stop wittering and I'm going to draw a card. I'm only going to draw one to start with. I've been drawn to the Tau Oracle, and you can work with this deck in a different way where you can choose a card and then you can throw these coins. So I'm going to do that, and what it does is it tells you how it brings up a problem or an issue, and then it gives you a solution basically. So I'm going to find out. I'm going to draw a card for the kind of issues that are around at the moment, please, and what these astrological energies are bringing up. So we've got the card of the Wanderer. Travelling, adventure, movement, coping with unfamiliarity, a pilgrimage, aloneness, broaden your horizons. Okay, it's very much like the Hermit card I'm feeling here. I've got my iTunes cards here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the book and I'm going to read to you what it says. 56. Interestingly, the card before that is the card of abundance. Okay, travelling means change, and changes mean vulnerability. Okay, yeah, I think vulnerability is coming up a lot. That word keeps coming to me as well. When breaking new ground, no matter how prepared you may be, sometimes you won't have a clue where you are or what is happening. Life on the road brings up all kinds of challenges you would never have to face in the safety of familiar surroundings. An unfamiliarity is threatening to the personality that needs to know where it stands. When we feel lost or out of place, we sometimes overcompensate to create an impression of keeping it all together, often with the unfortunate result of appearing downright foolish. So it's talking about not being stubborn, not being set in your ways. Coping with unfamiliarity increases the need to be alert, assume nothing and take care of yourself. Respect local customs. Remember, when in Rome, do as the Romans. Whatever may have worked at home does not necessarily hold up elsewhere. Be ready and willing to ask questions. Listen attentively, be courteous and stay flexible. No one appreciates being judged as inferior, and once it happens, it creates wounds. The unhappy result of this kind of insensitivity can be that support, once given, is quickly withdrawn. Be wary of any temptation to condemn anyone or anything because it is different from what you know. Whether judgments are spoken or formed only in thought, to indulge in them will create problems sooner or later. This childish habit is a byproduct of insecurity which puts the unfamiliar down in order to feel superior. It seldom has anything to do with anyone but ourselves. You never know when you may need help from the very person you've condemned. As a newcomer, it is wise to create a respectful and friendly atmosphere by being sincere and unpretentious. Sometimes life simply defies the best laid plans. Under such circumstances, all you can do is be as sensitive and as conscious as possible in the choices you make. If you are the new person in town, you may become the object of curiosity and gossip. But even if that's uncomfortable, don't put on the airs to be other than who you are. Sincerity, respect for yourself and others, and a straightforward demeanour go a long way toward paving the way for sound relations. A sense of humour helps too, for nothing puts people on common ground better than a good laugh, especially when it's shared in a comfortable, informal atmosphere. Avoid challenging the established order, but if your space is transgressed, speak up about it. Being forthright about your own boundaries is as essential as respecting others. No need to condemn, however. Once you've expressed yourself, drop the issue. Life is a journey, and in that sense we are all wanderers. We grow as we go, and it makes little difference whether that going was far or near. Finally, it is our attitude towards each step taken, not the number of miles racked up, that determines the quality of our existential reality. Seasoned travellers know how to adapt and keep their needs to a minimum. It is wise to remember when you find yourself a stranger in a strange land that less is more. Keep your lifestyle uncomplicated. That goes for your state of mind as well as your luggage. Yeah, simplicity is another thing that's come up today. Being adaptable, keeping your needs to a minimum. When you find yourself a stranger in a strange land, and that strange land can even be like your own life, things just not feeling right, things that once used to work for you no longer working anymore. Okay, I need a pencil for this next bit. So what I'm doing here, these lines on the card, 6 lines, represent either yin or yang, and when put together they give you the energy of this card. Now for each line you throw the coins. I need a pen and a pencil. So you throw the coins for each line. If you get a match, you change it. So 2 lines is yin, 1 line is yang. If it matches, So the coins, one side is yin, one side is yang. So for these, I have that side for yang, if you can see that, and that side is yin. And if you throw all 3 coins in, they come up the same. So I've got 3 yin. So you start with the bottom. Start with the bottom line, and that's a yin line. So that's a match. So you change it. If it matches, you change it. So I change that line to. I'm going to copy it down on my pad. So here we've got yin, yin, and yang, yin, yang. Okay, so because that was a match in the yin, I'm going to change that line to a yang. And I've never had to change more than 1 line. So that's line 1. So line 2. So that's, the 3 coins don't match. So that stays the same. So that's a yin. So this, they don't match. So that stays the same. So that's a yang. They don't match, so that stays the same. They don't match, so that stays the same. Now they're all yang, and the top line is yang. So that's a match, so that changes to yin. So we've got 2 changes. We've got line 1 and line 6. So I'm going to read, so there's two problems that have been kind of highlighted in this. So there's a few different issues in the actual energy of this card. So what have been highlighted is lines 1 and line 6, which probably refer to what's at the start and what's at the end of this. And then the solution is in the changes. So the bottom line. Be careful not to become petty or trivial now, because what you're putting out sets the stage for what you'll get back. Aggression will attract resistance. And this is quite important actually at the moment, because we've got Mars in that mix of planets that are conjoining at the moment. So we've got Mars and Uranus and the North Node all in conjunction right now. And so this aggressive energy might well manifest in a lot of people at the moment, and frustration and things like that. So this is I think is a warning against that. So aggression will attract resistance. Reverting to foolishness or impropriety appears obnoxious and invokes condemnation. So you're not going to achieve anything by allowing aggression to take over your behaviour. And then top line, it says, reckless, insensitive behaviour is like playing with fire. To proceed this way is to court disaster. It would be a pity to lose something of real value due to foolishness. Tune in to others now and be willing to adapt to them rather than impose. So there's a real warning here about being fiery, against being fiery. So great time for grounding and trying to be patient with other people, trying to see things from their perspective, being adaptable and trying not to be stubborn and set in your ways. Allow things to change and to flow. And this seems to be in your kind of behaviours with other people. So yeah, there's a clear message there about not being foolish, about grounding, not being hot-headed, and perhaps trying to be patient and flexible with those around you. Okay, so I'll draw a few more cards. And we'll see what else comes up for the week. I'll ask a few questions of Metatron for the week. So what are the energies? What's the guidance for this week, Metatron? We've got that fire, dragon strength, which does make sense. I mean, we're right in the Lionsgate. We're right in the Lionsgate portal right now, and we've got that tetrahedron dragon energy. So that's the sacred geometric symbol that represents the solar plexus. So, you know, there is a lot of solar plexus energy around, fiery energy, creative energy. Okay, we've just had, oh, hang on, I can't pick it up. Here we go. Abundance, gratitude, harvest, Lughnasadh energy. Fire and earth. Fire and earth. Nurturing your creativity. Grounding your anger. Grounding it. What else is there with these cards, please? Oh, we've got gold. Cup of replenishment. Golden cup of replenishment, taking time to rest, and fill your cup in this gorgeous energy that is around at the moment. If you can find the time to ground, to channel your creativity in a productive way, and take the time to rest and fill your cup. And just enjoy the season right now. It's gorgeous, you know. It's, for me, it's my favourite time of year. It's coming up to autumn. We're not in the middle of a heat wave or anything, which we often are around this time. I don't know if it's forecast for another heat wave to come in August. But right now it's perfect. It's like 23, 24 outside. Sky's blue. This has just fallen out. Oh, we've got the Lovers. Archangel Raphael. Carefully weigh your decisions, good health, focusing on your health, choices, making healthy choices, focusing on, I don't know, the Lovers don't necessarily represent health, but that's what's coming up for me. Making healthy choices. Oh God, I keep dropping the cards. I need to ground. What's this? The Knight of Water. The need to balance emotions. Okay, so yeah, balancing this creative force. Okay, so I'm being shown Taurus now. Like the Taurian energy can become quite, for want of a better word, lazy. Procrastination, feeling stuck. There was a warning in the Tower Oracle to not become stuck in your ways, to not be stubborn, to not be inflexible. So I think that's what the Knight of Water is coming through. With the Lovers, it's choosing to make healthy choices and to try to recognise when you're going one way or the other. It's about self-awareness, being aware whether you're becoming too far into this the grounding energy that you can tap into at this time of year in the Lughnasadh energy, to the point where you're kind of procrastinating and not really wanting to get very much done. And then the other side of that is this hot-headed, fiery energy where you're not thinking about what you're saying. Perhaps you're getting quite hot-headed. There's a word trying to come to me. Like impulsive. It's an impulsive energy where you're not stopping to think things through. You're speaking before you're thinking. You're making decisions, choices, based on perhaps anger, perhaps frustration, impatience, that sort of energy. So these two cards coming through to remind you to balance when you've got a choice to make. Make sure you're making it from a balanced perspective. Be self-aware. Make sure you're not in this impatient, impulsive energy, or make sure that you're not kind of too excessively grounded, where it's like, oh, I can't be bothered. You know you've got things that you need to do, but oh, I can't be bothered with that. I know I should go for a walk. I know I should get on my exercise bike. This is me. I can't be bothered. Such a nice day today. I'm just going to sit in the garden. I'm just going to sit in my room and paint. That's me lately. So it's about, you know, making the choice to be balanced. And then we've got the Five of Fire. Yeah, so there's definitely a conflicting energy coming through. This Mars energy, I think, is going to be quite strong, and I think it might be quite difficult to shake off. I'm trying to think where I can go for the solution to this. What's the solution to this, Metatron, to this fiery energy? Review and reflection, time out needed. Yeah, similar to the gold. Making sure that you are taking time to fill your own cup and doing the inner work so that you're self-aware of how you're feeling and why you're feeling, any triggers that might come up, or anything that you're putting off because of old triggers and old wounds. So if you've got things that you're planning, stuff that you're planning on doing, but you're kind of just not doing it for whatever reason, it's time to go within and kind of try to find the strength and deal with that inner conflict. That's what this card represents, is that inner conflict that can stop you from taking the steps that you need to get past those blockages. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. I hope you all have a lovely Lughnasadh and manage to find some time to mark it in some way. Do something creative, or bake some bread, or go for a nice walk, or I'm going to try and make a corn dolly or something later on. And thank you for watching, and I will be back again for another reading, probably around the full moon. Okay, take care. Bye.